What's happening, Hexo traders and investors? It's Rod with POW Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. Today's Tuesday. It's December 13th. Hope you're well. And in this short video, going to be discussing the stock Hexo Corp, ticker symbol HEXO. We're going to be discussing earnings this week. It was confirmed. I'm going to go over all of that and more. We'll do a quick look at the chart and what to expect and analyst forecast. I did do a video on this, but I just wanted to do another one because I'm getting a lot of questions about this, and we'll prepare for earnings, which will be on Thursday. So before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can tick the bell, subscribe, and be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As I mentioned, it was speculated this week that we could get earnings. I did a video not too long ago. It was an interview with Charlie Bowman. And if we go to the live stream here, you can see that he actually did an interview with David George Koch, which is BNN, and he leaked in that interview that we would see earnings this week. And if you go to Hexo's main page and you scroll down, you'll see the FAQ section, and then it will be the second one here. So when are Hexo's year end and quarter ends? And you can see here it's due by Q1 2023 will be due by December 15th. And again, if you're wondering why I'm saying Q1 2023, it's because their fiscal year end, it was on the last quarter, which was due by October 29th. So it doesn't mean the first quarter of 2023. It just means their fiscal year end, which was the previous quarter, right? So it doesn't match up with the exact quarter in the year. It just depends on the financial fiscal year end of a particular company. And you can see here, I just got a response back from Haley from Kaiser Partners that I wanted to know about a conference call, and she said Hexo won't be hosting a conference call, but their earnings are expected to be out Thursday, December 15th, pre-market. So we should expect that pre-market. No conference call this year, but we should see a conference call next year. But a little concerning, not going to lie, but the fact that, Charlie Bowman, the CEO, has been doing interviews with BNN. He's been doing, I think he's done about 3 or 4 interviews now over the last several months. So it'd be different if we weren't hearing from them at all. That would be a little bit of a cause for concern, obviously, but the fact that he is, getting out there and speaking with the public and doing these interviews, I don't think it's a huge deal. And like I said, they're still new to the role. Still haven't heard from Julius, the new CFO, but he mentioned in that recent interview that he actually brought Julius over from private equity with him, and he's worked with Julius in the past for many, many years. So I'm going to be excited to see whether or not we have an earnings call in the first quarter that they report in 2023. Not actually Q1, but maybe Q2 or Q3 2023. When we get those quarters, we may see a conference call. And that would line up well as with a sector reversal. So hopefully we see it in the new year and we can hear from the new CFO. I'm really looking forward to hearing from him, hearing his tone of voice, his excitement level, and just get an overall feel for what he can bring to the table. But it looks like so far that these two are going to be the right people for the job. And we know that they're expecting. Right now, their EBITDA is basically in line, is flat, and they're expecting positive EBITDA over the next couple of quarters. And as we know in the Tilray deal, when the Tilray deal was signed, they said that this strategy and this strategic alliance with Tilray was going to basically put them on path to achieve profitability, cash flow positive within the next 4 quarters. So that could put us into, maybe the back half of 2023. We could see that. But if you take a look at investing.com, this is Hexo's Canadian stock. So on the TSX, all these numbers will be in Canadian dollars because they report in Canadian dollars. That's why I look at it that way. But the revenue forecast is 43.57 million, and the EPS is forecasted at negative 0.02. So earnings per share. And we are seeing quite lower than the previous estimates, and it shouldn't be that hard to beat this revenue. And he said that they had a good quarter. So we'll see. 43.57 million is a slight decrease from the analyst estimates of last quarter. But like I said, shouldn't take a whole lot to see a beat on these numbers and get a bit of a surprise with those earnings on Thursday pre-market. Also, taking a look at the Hexo chart. So we are breaking down to a daily lower low. And I still have a buy order in for 15 cents. So I've been telling everybody that I have a buy order in. It still hasn't hit. It's been sitting there for months. Today we hit 15.45 cents. And this is USD looking at the NASDAQ chart. Still hasn't hit yet, right, because of bid and ask. But if we do see that dip below 15 cents, then my order should trigger. But if we take a look at the earnings estimates here, you can see here USD 31.318 million and estimate negative 0.017 USD. Just ignore those dates there, the 19th. Obviously, investing.com and TradingView did not get that right. And like I said, you can just go over here to Hexo's website, FAQ, and it says it's due by December 15th. And then the next one will be due by March 17th, a couple days after my birthday, and then June 14th, right? So you can always refer back to this FAQ section by just going to the Hexo main page, hexocorp.com, scrolling down here, and you'll see the resources FAQ. But taking a look at the Hexo chart on the weekly time frame, we're not looking good. I would like to see us get a weekly candle close over 17 cents, and earnings are really going to dictate this. I'm starting to give individual earnings reports for individual companies a little bit more weighting now that we're starting to see things heat up in the sector, but we still need monthly uptrends to confirm in the space before we're really going to put that much emphasis and attention to one individual MJ company's financial reports, right? So again, the whole sector is bearish at the moment after a setback in Safe Progress and Safe Banking Progress. It's possible that we could see it on Thursday. They basically are delaying that news that we heard the other day. I didn't bring it up here, but essentially they're negotiating, right? So they're trying to get Safe Banking as part of the omnibus. It could be a standalone package. We could see rescheduling from Biden and the DOJ. We could see it from HHS, and we could see rescheduling. If it just gets rescheduled up one level, then we could potentially see Safe Banking. If it gets rescheduled a couple levels, we could see uplisting, we could see Safe Banking, we could see removal of 280E, which would be huge for the industry and would literally catapult prices, I think, in at least a couple 100%. But like I said, the fact that Thursday we could potentially see whether or not Safe Banking progress or hopes on Safe Banking could get passed. So this could bode well, right? We know earnings are expected Thursday morning pre-market. And if we get a catalyst as well in the sector and Hexo beats on these earnings, which I don't think will be that hard to do, we could easily see prices explode to the upside, in my opinion. We have nothing nearby until the 50 weekly there as well at 33 cents. This is USD, of course. And if we take a look at the daily time frame, we're still stuck under the 50-day moving average. And then the 200-day, a lot of their names are making their way back up to their 200-day moving averages. So if we take a look at Hexos, it's at 28 cents USD. So a lot of resistance there around 30 cents. But essentially, we could even be gearing up. A lot of names as well are gearing up of a test of their 200-day moving averages as resistance. They'll look to get above it and then come back and back test it as support and then trend higher from there. But we had a death cross with the 50-day above the longer-term moving average of the 200-day. When the 50 is above the 200-day moving average and it crosses, that's called a death cross. When that occurred, price was at $4, huge sell signal, and we went down to 15 cents. Now we're seeing the inverse of that with the 50-day moving average below the 200-day moving average, and they're set to potentially cross. That's called a golden cross. So a lot of names in the sector are starting to potentially see these crosses, some names already having done so. So the fact that we are this close, it's probably going to take a couple of weeks, in my opinion, before we see those moving averages cross, but that is a very reassuring sign going into these earnings and potential for Safe Banking news as early as Thursday. So fingers crossed, we'll see if we can tie together two positive catalysts, if we can get great earnings, if we can get some Safe Banking progress. But on the flip side of that, if Safe Banking falls through and we miss on earnings, that could be catastrophic as well, right? I'm not expecting much more downside than we currently are, but if the S&P 500 sees, a significant pullback, Hexo could easily drop another 10-20% in my opinion. I don't think it would be long-lived. I think it would be a quick buy the dip opportunity. Personally, I'm going to be buying if my buy order hits at 15 cents, and I'll continue to dollar cost average. My next order would be at 10 cents USD. But going to end it there, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Powell Group. If you could smash the like, share the video with anybody that might find value. We'll see you on the next update.